opening act for the rest.
From the home of the Bills since way back in 1973, there's a look at Bills Stadium, just outside of Buffalo, New York. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. And we are underway in Buffalo. Now returning it, Antonio Callaway. And he returns this to the 22.
Come on, fellas.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Well, you know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. When they're on that type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out and tackle and make sure you knock them back on their butts.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
He's going to air one out. He rifles one that's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown. His third game defensively, that is hard to make a play. Get off the field, get their offense up, and still they get one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Really did what you said. They got it.
They're going to have to come right back.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start the game. That's the way you set the tone.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Callaway, the return man. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And partner, let me make a quick pivot here. Season winding down. They're number 32 in offense this year. The last in the league. Where do they go?
Anywhere and everywhere, but they have to do it with a plan. And I think about Atlanta a bunch of years ago. They decided they wanted to get what they thought was going to be a franchise quarterback, and indeed he is, Matt Ryan. But they had to supplement it. They went free agency, got a running back, came back and traded back into the first round in the same draft to get a left tackle to protect him. Really supplemented that pick, complemented that pick, and went to the playoffs the very next year.
Well, maybe they can use that and carbon copy it. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. Two of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
On first and 10, it's Swift. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. So, Charles, here we are, Week 17. Both of these teams playing their 16th game of the regular season. And obviously for decades, that was the full season. But as we all know, a little strange, still one more game to go next week.
Yeah, Brandon, I think we're both interested to see how things play out next week because we know their division titles and wild card spots up for grabs. So those teams, no doubt they'll be all in. But how would you like to go in front of a team that's 3-13 and say, okay, guys, one more time, let's go get them. If we win, it benefits someone else.
40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 45-yard line. They'll run right here with Swift. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. They'll try to throw here, Fitzpatrick. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. This defense for the Bills, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Well, this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. On the option, here's Elliott. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Keep it up, keep it up. 58's Mike, 58's Mike. 58, right over there, yeah. Mike, 58.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie, 79 yards. And the Bills are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. The extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Callaway, the return man. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Fitzpatrick now. He completes this to Russell Gage. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
To throw is Fitzpatrick. Will try and set up the screen to Swift. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a second and long.
You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Nothing to score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on third down. Here's Fitzpatrick. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Bills are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. And, Charles, you know, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Hey, alert three, alert three.
Now on 2nd and 13. Allen. A quick throw going to be caught by Diggs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
58, right over there, right over there.
Zeke going to get it on the option. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Second and 8.
Half 85, half 85. I'm coming.
Hey, check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21.
I got it.
Hey, check Mike 21, Mike 21.
Now Allen. He'll get this to Elliott. So the completion good for 7 there. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Throwing now is Allen. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
58, come on. Watch the curl. 58, boys, 58.
You can't block me.
Hey, 58 is the mic.
In your face.
Allen now on 1st down. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
Let's put that team on the front.
The give is to Elliott, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Allen going to throw. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he'll go out of bounds just shy of the 20. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
44 mark, 44 mark. Check, check.
On the handoff, this is Swift. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Now Fitzpatrick. He's going to air one out. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Bills are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And some space here. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Options galore here. Second and a few inches. To the air. Allen. Out to the left. He's got his tight end Knox. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. A first down carry by Elliott. And he stopped immediately there. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime.
You know what? Watch twist. Watch twist.
Now Elliott. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6.
I know you feel that.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Here's Allen. He's got a man. It's his fullback. Touchdown, Bills. That's the fullback. His first touchdown on the air. And the Bills will extend their lead. Well, I don't think they're ready to say the route is on. They are certainly looking their flaws here this first half. And now extra point before making it 21-0.
Yeah, your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league. But this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try now to come back.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. Swift's got the first down and then some. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Jerron Harmon makes the tackle. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. So with that, we get you back up to Orchard Park and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6. Play action. Now it's Allen. Being chased out left. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. Nifty move. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he'll go underneath here to Elliott. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons 39. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
Tap forward by Allen on the jet sweep. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, then maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5. 21, check Mike 21. All day, baby, all day. Hey, check Mike 21, Mike 21. Middle. Hey, check Mike.
Allen.
Check Mike 21.
And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game. Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. This is caught. A gain of 9 there, sets up 2nd and goal.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
What's block? Motion, pop. 6 guys. Switch.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Ezekiel Elliott, his 17th touchdown now in the season. The Bills take the opening kickoff in the 4th quarter. Right down the field to extend their lead. Tyler Bass now for the point after. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Fitzpatrick. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Carlos Basham just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Back now in Buffalo. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Third and long, Fitzpatrick following the sack. What can he and the gang come up with? From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10.
58, come on. Let's pick
A give to Elliott. Elliott a 1st down and more.
74 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? And he was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Allen going to try and keep it.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Elliott.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd TD in the game and 18th of the year.
And the Bills are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. So the toss play effective even down here in the goal line.
The defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field, and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time, he had the speed to win that race.
An extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that will extend this big lead.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Callaway, the return man. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
1st down, Fitzpatrick. Flushed out right. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Fitzpatrick. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Falcons. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And the worst fears won't realize as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that one spanning an even 65 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
I got one. 58's the money. 58's the money.
Elliott going to get it again on 2nd down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Allen now looks to throw. That one complete. Elliott. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Parker, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And Allen is actually going to throw it here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
There we go, Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. Hey, come on, now, come on, now.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Richie Grant.
And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Following the interception here, Fitzpatrick. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. Forced out to his left. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
Fitzpatrick. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Maybe one final chance here to make this a bit more respectable, as he'll go for it on 4th and goal. Desperation time. Fitzpatrick on 4th down. Touchdown.
Kyle Pitts
With touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Falcons get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21.
Falcons 14.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now.